Ever wondered what it takes to build your dream home here in Corona del Mar? Well, I get to ask the builder what it takes, what the inspiration was, what challenges arose, and everything from the build inspiration. You're never going to build a home successfully without the right team. Well, I'm here with Kyle Nelson, the founder of Riviera Building and Development, here in beautiful Broadmoor Hills at a home they just recently redeveloped. So Kyle, can you kind of break down what the process was? So this home is a 4-bed, 4.5 bath, with approximately 4,300 square feet of living space.
So this house was a complete tear down and build back up from the foundations. That was basically permitted as a new construction, which it kicks in certain codes that also kick in on a major renovation. Depends on what percentage of the house you're modifying. So full building permits requiring fire sprinklers and solar and all the current code updates for structure, and also for water control and drainage, which has now become a pretty major issue in all of Southern California. So we had to engineer all of those systems. Our architect coordinated all of the permit process. That's CJ Light, and so they were the lead designer on the project, coordinated all the permitting with the city along with us and our other consultants, which was civil engineering, structural, soils, all of the major consultants that are required.
And what was the biggest challenge that you would say that you guys kind of endured? Was it rain drainage? Was it getting permits? Was it dealing with HOA as far as obstructing views?
Yeah, the HOA was fairly straightforward. This association's fairly easy. Others are not when it comes to views, but this property was already entitled to 2 stories. There's really no view obstruction, so it was really just getting everything approved through the HOA. As far as the city goes, the challenges at the time we were in permits, we were coming out of COVID, so it was a very slow process, and there were a lot of permits in the system. At the end of the process, they added some new requirements which delayed it even further. It's really the drainage and the underground water control systems that originally we weren't going to be required to do. They changed their mind right at the last minute. So we had to go back in with that. So permitting takes a little bit of perseverance and patience these days. Right?
So as we start walking towards the property, one of the things that stands out are, the landscape is gorgeous. You go over who did the landscaping and then about some of the plants as well.
Yeah, so we partnered on the project with Seth Pompey Masonry and Landscape. So they handled all of the landscape and all of the hardscape, so the concrete sidewalks. All the exterior stone was done by our stone and tile contractor, which is RGE Stone. So they handled all of that installation. The original landscape design was by Ray Morrow Design. We incorporated most of his design and modified it a little bit in the field. So a lot of the plant materials came from different sources and different nurseries, some of them from Rogers Gardens here locally. Tried to get a good variety that fit the design, the original design, plus some things we wanted to adjust in the field.
Can you go over for someone that is a homeowner that's looking to hire a company like yours on how you guys assemble not only the complete team, but take care of absolutely everything?
Yeah, I think that a lot of people, as I had mentioned before, don't really understand all that's involved in building a project. One of the first things you need to do is get a good architect on board. So we partner with architects. If someone hires us, we take control of that whole process as a design build process so that we can organize it, keep the budgeting on track. Everybody's working to a budget, so you don't want to have a set of plans at the end that's a beautiful design that you can't afford. So that's where we can come in if somebody hires us early to help them navigate that whole process. Usually it leads to a more successful project that's built faster with less chance of cost overruns and a great product at the end that the client's really happy with.
Yeah. Hey, what are some of the common mistakes that you see homeowners make come in time to actually hire a company like yours to do a redevelopment for a property?
Well, the biggest one is that they've done a complete design and never done any checks with quotes from contractors on the price as they go along.
Yeah.
That's the biggest mistake, because then they get to the end and they're ready to go get bids for the project and they find out that the price is just way above the budget that they have. So then they're faced with, well, do you have to go get more money or do we cut back on the project? And the problem with cutting back on the project is that when you have to redo the plans to cut back on the project, you may have to go back into the city to re-permit it or get a modification, which takes more time, or you have to pay your design team more money to do the modifications to the drawings. In either event, you have to do that. So that is just an added cost. And then if you've moved out of the house to knock it down, now you're paying rent somewhere.
Yep.
So that's another added cost. So time's definitely, adds up to extra money.
So to save time and money, do it right the first time, basically.
That's right.
So
that goes with everything in our business.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so as we make our way into the courtyard, it's absolutely beautiful. I know that you mentioned that you wanted to go with the indoor-outdoor concept with entertainment in mind. Can you go over whose furniture this is and essentially what the landscape design inspiration was behind the courtyard?
Yeah, well, the idea was to just make this kind of a private space that you can hang out. If you don't want to be out in the back in the sun, you can come out here, hang out.
Yeah.
You don't have to be baking in the hot sun in the afternoon. It's just a nice, another outdoor living space. Yeah, Mathis Home Design provided this furniture here, and that furniture over on that deck is by Rove Concepts.
One of the key things that you want to do is if you're going to showcase a home that has beautiful ocean views, do it on a day where it's raining and you can't really see the views. So we're going to overlay a little. But even on that note though, when it's raining, this place is absolutely gorgeous. There's a warm setting. So can you walk us through what this house was before?
The front door was basically kind of right about here. In front of that was a bathroom, and the plate height, or the height of the doors and windows back here, was about 3 feet lower. So when you walked in, unlike it is now, when you walked in, you didn't automatically see the view and the house didn't open up to the view. So we wanted to maximize that and create a lot of light in this area. This was a very dark part of the house, but most of this house, this portion of the house is all added on and not part of the original construction. So one of the goals was definitely to make it so that as soon as you walked in and walked into the entry, you were seeing the views.
Yeah, Kyle, we're in the kitchen. Can you walk us through what the inspiration was and what the process was to be able to renovate this? You have this beautiful island. Can you go over some of the materials that were used as well?
Yeah, so the kitchen, the idea here was, again, to make it open and make this an indoor-outdoor entertaining space. So the sliding doors over there are pocket doors, so you can open the whole thing to the outside. Okay. So the idea was have a nice big island where people could sit at the bar and have conversation with whoever's working in the kitchen. This material is all actually porcelain. And that's a better choice for a kitchen because it doesn't stain and get burns like marble or granite can. So it's pretty indestructible. So it's nice for kitchens and bathrooms. And the centerpiece is this Blue Star range that is basically like a commercial range. So that the burners are 25,000 BTU, which is a lot higher than your standard residential. Here we've got a pantry kitchen. So we've got more dishwasher space, wine coolers, and a lot of storage back there for the pantry.
As we make our way into the living room area, can you go over essentially what the thought process was here? Because this is stunning, essentially all around from the views, but besides the views, more so in here.
We wanted to have a fireplace here, kind of a seating area for people to watch TV and enjoy hanging out, watch ball games, movies, whatever it is, while people are also in the kitchen. We have, just an overall living space that is casual, but has some nice architectural features.
We're gonna go downstairs first. This I absolutely love. You don't see this all the time. Can you walk through the inspiration with the staircase?
Yeah, so this staircase design was something that we thought a lot about. It has something different than what you're seeing in a lot of modern houses. A lot of modern houses have either glass or they have cable type railings in them. So this was an idea that we worked with our designers on, and then we perfected here in the field. So getting all these radius corners correct and make sure the transitions were smooth. There was a lot of tedious work that went into that, and then we finished it with Venetian plaster. So, but it's come out really, really nice.
So if someone wanted to do something that's not commonly seen, something a little bit more unique, that's something that you guys would be able to do?
Yeah. I mean, it's a matter of A, finding the right designer, and B, finding the right team of craftsmen that know how to do this type of stuff.
Need a builder? Contact them if you want to get it right. When we make our way downstairs, can you walk us through the inspiration, what was done here?
The idea down here was to have just another entertaining area, kind of another like family room, living room area. Again, great area for people to gather. Those doors are pocket doors that open completely up to the outside. So if you're having a party, you can have indoor-outdoor flow. And so that was really the idea, was just to create more living space that flows into the rest of it, but yet you can be separate from up there enough that you could be on your own.
So this home is a 4-bed, 4.5 bath of approximately 4,300 square feet of living space. So one of the bedrooms is right here.
Yeah, so down here is just, is a separate guest room. This room opens to the courtyard area out here. So somebody wants to stay here with us, or guests or whatever, they kind of have their own space. They can come in and out of this room separately if they're out doing things, on their own in the evening or whenever, if they want to. And then 2 bathrooms down there, one's off of the other gym bedroom. So, wanted to just create it so it's like it's its own living space down here. Somebody can feel like they have their own pad. And they're really in someone else's house.
And one of the cool things that I like a lot, because you mentioned that one of the visions was the indoor-outdoor, and a lot of places usually have indoor-outdoor with the backyard and kind of living space, but you also kind of have the same concept with the courtyard out front. So you have that indoor-outdoor all throughout. I love that. It's something that's unique.
I mean, when you walk in the gate, you can see all the way through the house out to the pool. Which is something that we wanted to have as a vision, with the design.
Essentially, any sports fan, this is probably where they're going to be hanging out. They're going to be working out. But what was the concept of actually including a gym downstairs? I think that's a great thing that more people should do.
Yeah. Well, this is it's a 4th bedroom, but we wanted to use it as a gym space so we could work out at home if we want. And our son is, he's 16, so he wants to work out and not have to go to the gym. So that was what we decided to do with this room. So since it's a gym and workout room, we put up some of the sports memorabilia we have that we've gathered with him over the years. And the nice thing is this is not a pocket slider, but it does open up to the backyard of the pool. So if you're working out in here, getting a good workout in, and you're sweaty, when you're done, you go dive in the pool.
All right, we're gonna make our way upstairs.
Well, it's the same kind of general idea up here. Take advantage of the views. So we have a bedroom off to the right here and a second bedroom back here, laundry room over here. So this one also has some view, but it's more up to the hill, Spyglass Hill, and some across. You can see the mountains from here. So it's even though it's not facing the ocean, it still has some nice views. All right, so here we have a walk-in closet here.
Oh, that's nice.
And then we have a full bath here. It's got a tub shower. We wanted to put a tub shower somewhere in the house in case we ever do sell it in the future. Somebody's got a tub if they have a child or something.
That's nice. So now we're in the master bedroom. Can you walk us through the design inspiration with this?
Yeah, so the master, again, I sound like a broken record, but trying to maximize views. So this, again, is a pocket slider, so this whole room opens up. We have a giant deck out here. We have a fireplace and a TV outside, so you can have indoor-outdoor living in your master bedroom too. So it's kind of a full suite effect. But placing the bed, placing everything to try to, again, maximize the view. So if you're laying in bed, you can look out there, you can see the view. So that was a big part of the layout in here. And it's spacious as well, which is kind of nice.
And this bathroom is definitely one of my
favorites. Here's the bathroom. So this was, has a lot of different finishes that, it's all this custom woodwork, marble slabs for the shower, custom walk-in closet. So one of my favorite features is this herringbone floor. This has turned out really well.
So this is probably one of the girls' top items on any house. From walking in, it looks very functional.
Well, first off, that side is obviously the side for the ladies. The side over here in the corner is what the men get. So much smaller. But anyway, here we just wanted to provide a layout with a lot of hanging space and shelf space. We've got little hutch dressers and things here, and also this door is pocket door.
Oh, that's nice.
It locks, so you can secure the closet if you leave on vacation. You have someone staying here or you don't.
Very nice.
And the alarm system on, you can lock your closet. So your valuables are somewhat safe.
So Kyle, we're here in the beautiful backyard. Can you go over what the inspiration was with the backyard?
Yeah, so what we wanted to do here was, we have our outdoor kitchen over here and our spa is up at this level, so we wanted to be able to have this whole level, be able to take advantage of the views. So if you're up here, you want to be in the spa, you can still see the view. Whereas if you're down below in the pool, it's more of a private area if you want to be laying out or whatever. So that was kind of what we were trying to achieve here, you know, two separate areas that still join together and flow.
Were there any innovative construction strategies that were used to be able to complete the backyard?
You know, I think it was really just a matter of a lot of geotechnical engineering. There was quite a bit of engineering and back and forth with the city. We took the property out onto the slope, so there was a lot of engineering and permitting to deal with the city and the planning department to get through that process with them.
Okay.
We had to do several rounds of drawings and engineering for that. So that was probably the most technical part of it, other than building the pool, which was, you know, a little bit of a challenge because of the multi-level, and we have these zero edge details, so everything has to be, you know, super level. The water flows over this wall, so that requires it to be very level and flat, otherwise the water, you get dry spots.
And so going into the entertainment, because I know that was in mind, I think it's definitely achieved, but you have smart tech, you have the fire going, you have essentially sound systems out here. So can you go over some of the smart technology that was also incorporated in the backyard?
Yeah, so everything in the backyard, the fire features, the pool, the spa, all the lighting is all controlled through an app. So the fire features in the pool are all on one app, so you can turn all of that on just with your phone or your iPad. And then the landscape lighting is separate, but it also has its own app, so we can adjust that and change the times and schedules. So, you know, that's the main part of it. The audio is all part of the Sonos system that we have inside, so that's all tied together, and you just turn it on with your phone or your iPad again.
100%.
And you can separate the backyard from, you know, the master bedroom, or wherever. You can have different music in different places if you want to.
And you can control it anywhere, you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, super convenient. So can you tell us who the pool contractor was, Kyle?
Yeah, so on this project, we decided to build the pool ourselves and not hire a pool contractor. We build a lot of commercial pools for our other projects, so we have a lot of knowledge on how to build pools. So we decided on this one that we would just bring together all of the really good pool-related subcontractors and manage it ourselves. So that was kind of a fun part of the project, to be honest, because it's, you know, interesting to build a pool from the bottom up.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of similar to building a building.
Okay.
You have to get it right from the excavation to the rebar and the plumbing and the electrical, and once you get that, and then you get the shell and the shotcrete done, then it's all about the finishes. So we ended up with this really unique tile that you don't see too often in a pool. So our interior designer, Erica Bryan, specified all this tile, which turned out really cool.
And from what I hear, the nickname is the Gucci pool?
Yeah, my tile installer nicknamed it the Gucci Armani pool.
Love it.
For the tile. So,
I love it.
But it's a unique feature, so we really like it.
Do you want to talk about how the spa flows down into the pool?
Yeah, so because of the way the lot is and we have the different levels, putting the spa up here, like I said earlier, to take care of being able to see the view when you're in the spa, we thought it'd be a great idea for the water to flow down into the pool. And then we have this Baja shelf area for when you want to lounge and be partly in the water, but not so much. And then we put this floating step in here. So if you walk down the set of stairs over here, coming past the spa, you can just walk right over here into your outdoor lounge area and hang out there. So it makes it flow really well, so that you're not stuck on one side or the other of the spa, and you can access everything really easily. And then out here, and also up there, we have heaters in the ceiling, so if it's chilly at night, you can still sit out here, watch a ball game, watch a movie, whatever it is you want to do.
So I know you're a big golfer. Can you go over what the idea was with including a putting green in the backyard? I love it.
Yeah, so the house is built for entertaining with all the indoor, outdoor, and we can open everything up. So this area down here has a lounge and this loggia area with a TV. You have the putting green here. In there you have your gym and workout. So, you know, you can just open the door and dive in the pool once you get done with your workout. So it's all meant to be a fun area for when people are over. So if you want to play golf, have some bets on who's going to get a hole in one, you know, it makes it a fun use for the space versus grass or some other thing that requires a lot of maintenance, whereas this doesn't really require much maintenance. So it's great by the pool.
So one of the things that homeowners need to think about is also the sidewalks. Kyle, can you talk about what you guys had to do with the tree in the front yard and kind of what your advice is to homeowners that are going to be building?
Yeah, one of the things that happens on a project is you have to get a public works right-of-way clearance. So typically they'll want you to replace street trees in the public right-of-way, which is the median area between your sidewalk and the curb, and that's city property, it's public works property. So that's something you have to consider, and then also they're going to come out and do an inspection and probably require you to replace all, if not a significant portion, of the sidewalk front of your house, the curb, and probably your driveway. And that's how they get free stuff out of all of us developers, homeowners, and whatnot. Yeah. But that's something to consider because can be a considerable cost there depending on how much frontage you have and how much they will make you replace.
So when you walk in and you have all of these lights that align and they all turn on, that doesn't just happen for a reason. Can you walk us through essentially the technical aspect of how you actually got the technology, the lights, and the small details of the build dialed in?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that's important when you consider building, especially custom, is that your architect and designers, they can't draw every element of every detail of a project, whether it's a house or anything else. So when it comes to making sure that everything here, like in this line of lights that you referred to, they actually line up, that all happens when you're framing the house and when you're considering where the lights are going to go and laying this out, because it all has to be properly wired in and located and laid out. You have to keep checking that over the course of time to make sure it works. And sometimes you have interference from structure or other things. Other things that are, take a lot of coordination is, for example, the height of all the doors. To keep the doors and windows all the way up to the ceiling requires a lot of work with the structural engineer to design the structure so it'll still function and support what it's supposed to support with the house, but allow you to have an opening that's big enough to fit these windows and doors.
And how tall are those windows?
Those are about 9'7". Yeah, the ceiling's 9'9". So, and a lot of the windows go all the way to the ceiling. So again, doesn't just happen. You have to take the drawings and you have to then get in the field and figure out, okay, well, how can I build what it is that the design calls for, and get with your team and make the changes in the field, work with the designers, the engineers, and also all of the craftsmen and the tradespeople to do it correctly.
Yeah, it makes a difference, especially some of these luxury buyers that I work with, that we go into homes and they have things like dimmers and stuff like that, automated lights, motorized shades. All those small things really do make a difference because I think it's about convenience and practicality. But for the tech lovers out there, can you also walk through some of the smart technology that was used throughout the house?
Yeah, so in this house, we chose to put in different systems for each thing, and they all have their own application. So it's a smart home, but it doesn't have a central hub that controls all of the systems. So one of the reasons we did that is for the simplicity of keeping all the systems running all the time, so that when the system applications update and it doesn't go to your central system, it can start to glitch, and then you have to spend money to call your technical guy. So we have all the technology. We have full audio, video, sound integrated in all the rooms. We have super smart thermostats and HVAC system that's all online on apps on your phone, your iPad. All of our alarm systems, same way. So everything you can work from your phone, including the pool, the spa, the fire pits, the landscape lighting, everything.
Super convenient. All right, Kyle, before we go ahead and wrap up today, what's the main thing that you would want people to take away about your company?
Yeah, I think it comes down to our core principles: safety, quality, budget, and schedule.
Yeah.
So, but the main thing is, any project we do, we leave a high quality product behind. We want our customers to be happy with the product that they bought, and we go the extra mile to make it what it's supposed to be, pay attention to the details. If something is not right, we are going to fix it and make it right. That's how it needs to be done. Ideally, everything gets done right the first time, but nothing's perfect in our business, so sometimes you have to fix a few things. But we're not going to try and sell something that's an inferior product.
100%.
So,
Well, make sure you go follow their account, contact them for all of your real estate development needs, whether that is commercial or residential, anywhere in Southern California or Hawaii. Kyle, thank you so much.
thank you.